It's Friday, August 28th, and I'm Jessica Kading. There are currently 29 active COVID-19 cases in Halton. 9 of those cases are in Burlington residents, 9 in Oakville, 11 in Milton, and Halton Hills has not reported any new cases for several days in a row now. COVID-19 had isolated residents of long-term care homes in an effort to protect them from the virus. But as of today, those residents can once again leave their long-term care homes for day trips or overnight visits. Following the advice of Chief Medical Officer of Health, long-term care residents on day trips are asked to wear masks and will be screened but not tested on their same-day return. Those that are approved to stay overnight, however, they will need to self-isolate for 14 days upon their return. An updated policy on visits to long-term care homes is expected to be released next week. Whether heading eastbound or westbound today over the Burlington Skyway Bridge late this afternoon, you were likely significantly delayed due to collisions in both directions, holding up traffic. Halton District School Board held a virtual meeting on Wednesday night. We looked at the elementary school model yesterday, and now Superintendent Hunt Gibbons will explain the plan for secondary schools starting September 14th.
So there are 4 quads over the course of the year, and a student will take 2 courses in each of those quads for 10 weeks each. So if I happen to be taking math and history in my first quad, that's all I'm going to take for those first 10 weeks, rather than if I were in a regular, I would be taking 4 courses. This model here, what it looks like for a student, is that we maintained our focus on face-to-face, in-person learning. And so we have a skewed day. You'll see in the blue in course 1 that students are coming in person for 180 minutes. Again, this was part of our original model and remains in recognition of the feedback that people really valued the face-to-face time in person rather than on the computer. And so we have the same course that will run all week. Students will come in, they will stay for the 180 minutes. They will transition home, where they will then have 120 synchronous minutes on their second course. So they only have 2 courses, and this is what they're dealing with every day. So they're seeing that morning teacher face-to-face in person, and then in the afternoon, they're seeing face-to-face, but it's online. So as a designated school board, that means that the ministry has said that as an urban center, we have to cohort our students in groups of 15. And so we're using an AAABB model. The following week, it'll even out so that the students would have AABBB. So the flip day is always our Wednesday, and students are in on their designated day. And this is our distance learning. So if you've opted to learn fully distance and you're not coming into the school, then you are working out of our virtual high school. So the new acronym that students will start using in your home is VSS, Virtual Secondary School. And their timetable is very, very similar. They have 2 courses. So in this case, we've mirrored the same one. They have math in the morning and they have drama in the afternoon. They also have a 75-minute break in the middle of the day so they can get something to eat and have a change of scenery. The only difference in this model is that you can see that there isn't a skewing of the minutes in the day. There are still 300 instructional minutes provided, but in our virtual school, they're 150 and 150 rather than 180 plus 120. And that is because it's the exact same learning platform, so there's no need to skew that in order to have more in-person, face-to-face time.
Additionally, Dr. Hamida Magani shared some tips during that information meeting for parents in advance of back to school. Let's take a look.
What will be especially important will be to ensure that children understand how to wear masks properly. They need to wear masks that fit well around their nose, mouth, and chin without gaps at the sides. Clean their hands before putting on, taking off, or adjusting their masks. Avoid touching their masks while wearing them so that they don't contaminate their hands. Wearing a mask correctly for a full school day may be particularly difficult for younger children and children with underlying medical, developmental, and mental health conditions. It will be very important for schools to plan for what we call mask breaks with appropriate physical distancing, of course, during the school day. And this will help children learn and practice with their masks. You also encourage children to ask questions, express concerns, and remind them how important it is to be kind to each other once they are back in the classroom. For students of all ages, it will be important to support not only their physical health, but also their mental health.
With some concern about the complications of riding school buses this year, a family in Oakville has been looking at biking to school as an alternative mode of transportation. However, it does appear unrealistic for some families depending on the route to school. Nikki Wesley reports.
Laura Hermans lived in the Netherlands for 12 years after marrying her Dutch husband. It was there where she fell in love with cycling. It's one of the things she missed most when she first came to Oakville.
Actually, what I think is really great about Oakville is that there are a lot of bike trails, and not only in the woods, but functional for transportation. So there are a lot of options and possibilities. So I would say that the job is 85 to 90% done, and now we just have to take care of the connectors. So what do you do at a stoplight? What do you do at a roundabout, which is oftentimes vague and not clear? So that ambiguity leads to potential hazardous situations.
This year with COVID-19, many have been getting out on their bikes more, including Laura's 13-year-old daughter, Annemieke.
I've been biking with my friends a lot recently and just going around places. It's been good, yeah. A little bit hard sometimes with the bike paths. Mostly just that sometimes they end or it's not very clear and cars don't really know either where to go. It's a little bit unsafe sometimes.
As Annemieke is attending high school for the first time this year, the Hermans started exploring the possibility of biking to school. They discovered that the inconsistency of marked paths along the route would be a major deterrent for most. Councillor Beth Robertson is taking action to make cycling connectivity a reality.
I have seen in this summer more people cycling than I've ever seen in all my summers in Oakville. And I think that right now schools are going back in. People are afraid to get on the school bus. And so this is a great way for kids to start getting to school, but they need to feel safe doing that. I've been a bike rider for a long time. I rode when I taught at Aquinas, and I learned that there are places that are really safe and easy to bike, and then all of a sudden that stops. And you're left in the middle of a street with no bike lanes, you're left with, busy places going by. So I want to see the connectivity start to become something that we really, really make a focus. I've already talked to Chris Clapham at the town in terms of making connectivity a focus. I know that right now the federal government is doing a COVID resiliency fund that will give money to the province for any projects under $10 million. It's going to be a great way that a municipality can tap into and actually improve the connectivity, because some of the connectivity things are simple fixes, but they're still people consuming for manpower, and there's still money. And so if you had better funding at a time when the town doesn't exactly have any money left over, it's one of those ways we're going to get to make the connectivity happen.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
Of course, pedestrians also need to be safe on our roadways. Nikki Wesley was downtown Burlington this morning to check out how Lower Brant is now safer for those pedestrians.
The old Wait for the Gap crossings along Brant Street have been converted this week to 3 new pedestrian crossovers. Mayor Marianne Mead Ward said residents have been asking for additional measures for making walking around our city easier, and this will help. While these crossovers are not technically crosswalks, as they're not found at intersections, the same rules apply. By law, drivers and cyclists must stop at the yield lines and wait for pedestrians to cross to the opposing sidewalk before proceeding. The new crossovers can be found on Brant, near Pine Street, Elgin Street, and Maria Street. More crossovers will also be installed along the Centennial Pathway Road crossings in coming months.
A virus detected in Halton has similar symptoms to COVID-19. Nikki Wesley has that story as well.
In late July, mosquitoes in Oakville were the first to test positive for West Nile virus in Halton this year. Last week, a second batch of mosquitoes trapped in Milton tested positive. Manager of enteric and vector-borne diseases, Dimitra Kazimos, explains how the region is combating the problem.
We're trying to reduce the risk of West Nile virus to the public by reducing the number of mosquitoes. Larviciding actually kills the mosquito larvae before they become adult mosquitoes.
There are approximately 300 sites across Halton that are tested weekly for mosquito larvae, including storm water management ponds, field pools, and woodland pools.
The students came this morning to do some surveillance of the stormwater management ponds. So what they do is they take some samples of water and look to see if they can find mosquito larvae. If mosquito larvae are present, and we know that this particular pond has mosquito larvae and they're a species of concern, then we start larviciding the ponds and monitoring on a regular basis.
These little hairy guys here, these are the mosquito larvae, and they react to sun and movement, so you can see them kind of curling around the bottom of the dipper.
The first confirmed human case of West Nile was reported 2 weeks ago. They are continuing to test around Halton.
Been monitoring by setting up adult mosquito traps throughout Halton region. We have a number of locations, all the way up to Georgetown, Burlington, Oakville, and Milton.
While most people with West Nile will have no symptoms, others may experience fever, headache, muscle ache, or a rash. Halton Region Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Hamida Magani, said, "These symptoms are very similar to illnesses such as COVID-19, so it's important for residents who are concerned or experiencing symptoms to seek medical assessment. Until the hard frosts of fall set in, Halton residents should continue to protect themselves."
We encourage people to take some personal precautions. Try to avoid being out in the early morning and late evening when mosquitoes are most active. If they can't be out, or if they have to be out during that time, then to wear light-colored, long-sleeve clothing, pants, and any exposed skin, they can use an insect repellent, preferably one containing DEET. The other things people can do is try to reduce standing water around their home by discarding any water that might be in small containers like flower pots. If they have a bird bath, emptying it out once a week and changing the water will reduce the standing water, the mosquitoes in the standing water as well. So more information about West Nile virus and the up-to-date on the human cases and positive pools can be found on our website at halton.ca.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
We've all heard about the importance of sleeping, but do you know why from a psychiatrist's perspective? We have that up next. Welcome back to Halton News. How many hours of sleep are you getting a night? How many quality hours? In this segment, a local psychiatrist explains the importance of getting a good night of shut-eye.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya coming to you from the Empathy Clinic here in Oakville, where we're dedicated to the improvement of understanding of ourselves and others. Today I want to talk about sleep. Sleep is not a passive thing, it's actually quite active. We spend about a third of our life asleep. So let's take sleep as an 8-hour event. I know that's not for most of us, but let's use it for example. And let's compare sleep to a bowl of fruit. So sleep is divided into 90-minute cycles, where we go through various stages of sleep throughout the night until we wake up in the morning. So let's use a bowl of fruit, for example, as sleep. So the 4 bananas in that bowl represent the stages of getting to sleep, falling asleep and getting into those deeper stages. Now the mangoes, those 2 hours, represent deep body sleep. That's stage 3 sleep. Now stage 3 sleep is very important for full body rest. Also growing and fortifying our immune system that can fight off infections and various other things. If we don't get our stage 3 sleep, we get a profound sense of feeling physically tired in our body. Next, the limes are the rapid eye movement sleep. Rapid eye movement sleep is very important for resting your mind. That way, your attention, your concentration, and your memory improves a lot better as well. So it's really important that you get all those stages in the right amounts. You need your mangoes and your limes so you can feel the best physically and mentally. And it's really important to practice sleep hygiene so that when you're sleeping at nighttime, you're sleeping well, you're sleeping deeply. Those deep stages of sleep are very important for you to feel healthy mentally and physically. Thank you so much for paying attention today. Take care and stay safe.
Yet another hot one out there today. Here's a look out from Oak Beach as we look into our weekend. We do have slightly cooler temperatures expected, reaching a high of 25 degrees tomorrow, cloudy skies, and while it looks like rain, keep in mind that's a 40% chance of showers we're looking at. But if you don't want to chance your outdoor activity being rained out, Sunday would be the better choice. Sunny skies reaching a high of 23. Much the same to be expected on Monday, and then the risk of rain showers returns on both Tuesday and Wednesday. This weekend, your local Chamber of Commerce and Canada United are encouraging you to get out and shop local in Halton. Nikki Wesley has those details.
Blake Lennox, owner of Burrows in downtown Oakville, says his business is 60% less when compared to the same time last year. In an effort to bring in more customers, he even started his sale earlier than normal.
We broke for sale about 3 months earlier than we normally would have, and the idea was essentially pretend the season never happened and look forward to fall, which fall is around the corner right now, and we're getting lots of new merchandise in.
In an effort to help small business, the Oakville Chamber of Commerce has partnered with Canada United to bring a unique contest to the community. Chamber President Drew Redden.
This weekend is a nationwide exercise from coast to coast to coast. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce, Ontario Chamber of Commerce, and your Oakville Chamber of Commerce are encouraging everybody to support local and support these businesses that have had a really tough time over the past few months. It's an incredible program that RBC has been leading as well. You shop local this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Go to a restaurant, shop your main street, and then you can take your receipt, you upload it on gocanadaunited.ca, and be entered in a chance to win one of 25 prizes of $10,000 cash for supporting local.
Fantastic. I think it's a great initiative. I read a little bit about it, and I think that there's a lot of people that live in these towns, in these suburbs, and a lot of them were working in downtown Toronto. They're not anymore, so I think it's almost a little bit of exposure and a little bit of a push to get those clients who live in Oakville and now work in Oakville shopping here too.
Every time you tweet with the hashtag Canada United or watch one of their videos, RBC will contribute 5 cents to the Canada United Small Business Relief Fund. Small businesses may apply after August 31st for grants to help them buy PPE and other measures to help them get back on their feet.
No question about it, these businesses have been hit hard. Our community has rallied behind it, but we need to continue to do so. This weekend, the Go Canada United weekend, is a great opportunity for Oakville to come out and support our businesses, support our small businesses that have given so much back to the community. It's time to give back to them as well.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
And now we'll look to how Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. Volunteers are a hugely valuable asset to any organization, and they help charities and not-for-profits carry out the great work that they do in our communities. After the break, how a summer intern helped the Burlington Food Bank. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Halton News. The Burlington Food Bank operates and serves our community with the help of dedicated volunteers, including summer students.
Hi, this is Robin Bailey, the Executive Director of the Burlington Food Bank, and we wanted to say thank you to our summer student, Samantha, who's just been amazing for the last couple of months, and even before that she was volunteering, and then we were able to, through a grant through the federal government, we were able to hire her on for the last couple of months, and she's been just awesome, as well as the other summer student volunteers. We're looking forward to them still possibly helping us out, but knowing that a lot of them will be moving on back to school. So thank you to them, as well as the new volunteers that have stepped up. We have a bunch of new volunteers in today helping us in learning the ropes and how we do things and making sure that they stick within all of our proper PPE protocols and making sure that everything's clean and all of those types of things. And we also wanted to let people know that we've updated our list on our website for our most needed items. We do that on a fairly regular basis right now because things sort of change on every 2 or 3 days, or at least on a weekly basis. So if you're looking to see what you can help us out with, go to our website, burlingtonfoodbank.ca, and look at how you can help out. Thanks again so much to all those who are supporting us and for all of our volunteers.
Kevin Farmer has a goal of raising $5,000 this weekend for Parkinson Canada. To do so, he's offering a 12-hour live streaming session called Drums for Parkinson's this Sunday. If you make a donation over $25, you will be entered into a draw to win some great prizes. The live stream will run from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. this Sunday. Visit Drums for Parkinson's to donate and watch live. Approximately 4,300 children and young adults in Canada are affected by cystic fibrosis. This Saturday, tomorrow, in an effort to raise funds for Cystic Fibrosis Canada, the movie Trolls World will be featured as an outdoor drive-in experience at Country Heritage Park. Tickets will cost $100 per car, and with that, you will receive a $25 tax receipt. The first 100 cars will be given a complimentary snack box, and the movie will start at 8:45. For more information or to buy tickets, please visit driveinforcf@gmail.com. For those of you looking for an indoor activity to beat the heat, a reminder that Joseph Brant Museum is open. The special exhibition, Giants, Dragons, and Unicorns, The World of Mythic Creatures, organized by the American Museum of Natural History, has been extended to January 3rd, 2021. To learn more about what to expect and how you can pre-book your visit, visit museumsofburlington.ca. Museums of Burlington is also offering virtual visits for kids. These 1-hour weekly Zoom sessions feature live instruction by a museum educator who will guide a series of creative, hands-on, structured activities and crafts that relate to a weekly theme. Programs are designed for children 8 to 12 years old, 11 to 12 p.m. each day. The cost is $25 a week and includes a craft supply bag. To register, visit museumsofburlington.ca. We'll be back with another edition of Halton News live at 5:30 on Monday. Until then, enjoy, and we'll see you then.